I want to do a little preface to the session as Jack and Rosie are going to meet me here. There is actually a special person here. It is my new summer internship boss. I don't know how the table dynamic will work if I win money from him. It'll be fun. Either way, he is a big Omaha player, so I'm excited to see how he plays the Dealer's Choice games. It's going to be a good session. You're in for a treat. Let's go.
Sick shirt. Yes, sir. What's up? What's up?
How we doing, boys?
Just got back from our trip in Austin.
Yep, you guys saw a little pre-intro from me. We all came back after a little formal away weekend, ready to play some poker. I'm already down about $150 to start, but these boys just got here, hoping some more run good.
Well, I'm down $200. This is weird. We're doing it because we had someone show up a little bit late. What else is new?
Hey.
So Frankie and I have been running it for a little bit. Not
I'm
off to a
down
hot start.
$0 right now. So
Jello's actually he's in the lead. He's
Yeah.
actually in first place
Yeah.
right now. We spent a lot of money this weekend, so this is.
We have some to make back.
Yeah, ideally we need to be in the positive today.
Let's start running better too.
Yeah,
How about
that would
that?
be chill. That'd be really chill. Wait till you see what happens in my first all-in.
Let's go, boys.
All right, boys, first hand for me, and it's actually the first hand dealt. I don't know about you guys, but when I kind of sit down at the table, I'm kind of looking to scope everyone out for the first few hands, not really get too involved. But when we look down at ace-queen offsuit on the big blind, we got to play that. So let me know if you guys like playing your first hand or not. So this hand, the villain, I had just seen him bluff in a big O hand, which is 5-card Omaha on the river, literally the hand before my first hand dealt. So I know this guy is a little crazy and willing to get involved. There's a limp, and this villain makes it $12 on the button. The small blind calls, and I call as well. 3 ways to a flop of ace of spades, jack of diamonds, 8 of clubs. We hit that top pair, feeling good. Small blind actually donks on this board for $20. Very, very weird. I think call is the right play here, and that's what I do. And the button, the villain, calls as well. Not sure where we're at. The turn is the 10. It is the second spade, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and the small blind keeps donking, this time for $45. Let me know what you guys would do here in this spot, I guess. It's going to get even weirder, but we're losing to ace-jack and ace-10 and ace-8, I guess. But we have a really strong hand, and the small blind seems like a recreational player. He might not know what he's doing. I decided to make the call here. The button now raises to $130, and the small blind folds. Now I really have no idea what's going on. Now we're back with the player I do know a lot about. I've played with him before. He has just bluffed in the big O gambling hand right before this. He is more inclined to do this with a draw. He is more inclined to not have anything and try to push me around. But this is a big raise. What are you guys doing here? Obviously, I'm going to need some commentary from you guys in the comment section. The interesting thing about this 10 is we now have a double gutter. So a 9 or a king makes us a straight. We could very well have the best hand as of now, given this player type. For all these reasons and the price we're getting, I make the call. The river is the 5 of clubs. Nothing. We still have our top pair. I'm looking to get to showdown here. I check, and he checks it back. And he guesses for what he has. Ace-10. Seems legit, honestly. That's pretty much how I'd play ace-10 in that position. We lose a tough one on the first hand dealt. It's time to claw back.
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? For my first hand of the night, I'm in the low jack looking down at ace-3 of diamonds. I make it $10 to play without seeing the straddle that's on the button. I should be raising to $20 here. And this small raise tempts Bill in the hijack to make the call. The big blind makes the call, and the button comes along as well, going 4 ways to a flop, which comes king 2-4. With 1 diamond, we have a straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. Because this king and this entire board hits my range, in general, I decide to bet for $30. And we get folds, except for the button who makes the call. So we're going to be out of position going to a turn, which ends up being a great one, the ace of spades. So we do not need to semi-bluff anymore. We have a pair. I decide to bet for value, $45. In the straddle, he makes a call. Looking back, I think I could be checking here because the ace is an ace-3, such a mediocre pair. I'm going to have better aces here so often. I should be checking the weaker hands in my range here out of position, but Can't change everything, and mistakes are going to happen. Let's go to a river, trying to get to a cheap showdown. We see a queen. That's all good. The queen of clubs. I check it down, and thankfully the button checks behind. I flip over ace 3 thinking I'm good with top pair. And that is not the case. The button has 2-4 offsuit for bottom 2 pair. Value owned myself a little bit on the turn, but gonna be losing money there all the time. Unlucky, trying to get it back on the next hands.
Tonight, for the first hand of note, we look down at ace 10 of hearts in the cutoff. Very first hand we are dealt in. Middle position limps. I decide to bet $15. The small blind calls, and the limper decides to fold. So we are heads up going to a flop. Comes queen 9-2 rainbow. Pretty dry board. When he checks to me, I decide this is a fine board to c-bet on. I c-bet for a little less than half pot. I bet $15, and he pretty quickly makes the call. The turn is the jack of clubs. This is the second club out there. He checks to me, and I think this is a great card to continue barreling on, as we do pick up the open-ended straight draw. A king would give us the nuts as well. So for those reasons, I decide to bet here. I go on a little bit larger of a sizing, betting way more than half pot. I bet $45, hoping for a fold here. However, he makes a call, which is okay. Let's see a nice river. And the river comes the jack of hearts. It pairs a board, and he checks to me again. At this point, I'm contemplating whether or not to bet here. I think any queen is going to be calling a reasonably sized bet, and he might have some jacks in his range that he might float the flop with, so I didn't want to be slow played by him. Another one of my thoughts was he does have some draws in his hands that maybe ace high can beat, so I decide to check here, and he tells me he has ace high. I tell him so do I. I flip over ace 10, and he flips over ace 7 of clubs, so he had the nut flusher on the turn, floated the flop fairly light, and we scoop this pot here with ace 10 high. Nice way to start the session.
Next hand for me, we see a player open jam for $43, and we see a call from the hijack. Please let me have aces. Ace king off? That'll do as well on the button. I'm feeling pretty awesome right now. I go for the 3-bet to $130. The hijack makes the fold, and we pull that extra money back, and we're one-on-one with the person who open jammed. We asked to run it twice, and the dealer kind of messes up here. I'm going to let you guys just kind of see what happens, but definitely weird what happens next on these two boards.
Sure. Do it.
Low only. Wait, what are you doing?
You said two.
Two full boards.
But
You do the first one
We're not
first.
doing a palm pot PLO. You gotta do one full board
Yeah.
and
So
two
just bring it
full
back,
boards.
1, 2, 3, and then burn, turn, burn, you know,
So
burn
wait.
river. Yeah. So burn
That
top
was
one,
not.
No.
burn, turn. Okay, burn, river.
I'm not even sure of that signal.
And then second board.
Well, that's my hand right there. The first one. That's my. Nothing on either.
So yeah, she shows king queen, and that means we technically got rivered on both boards. She rivers the chop on the top one and rivers the pair on the bottom one. Poker is so much fun. We get quartered with ace king here. What are you gonna do? I want that situation any day of the week. Let's put our heads down and keep grinding, boys.
Next interesting hand to note, we look down at queen 10 offsuit in the big blind. There's a button straddle to $4, 2 limps to me. I decide to complete on the big blind for $2 more, and the button checks. We're off to a flop 4 ways, which comes 7, 8, 9 rainbow. Pretty good flop for me, giving me the open-ended straight draw as well as 2 overs. So honestly, I think it's a good board to lead out on. I bet $15, and middle position is the only caller, so now we are heads up to a turn, which comes the 4 of hearts. This is the second heart, bringing in the flush draw. However, this isn't too scary of a card. I'm trying to fold out hands like ace 8, ace 7, ace 9 maybe. Hands that have single pairs on this board, and maybe get calls from weaker draws. So I decide to bet $45 here, and he makes the call. The river is a nice one. The jack of hearts, we drill our straight. pretty disguised because I've been betting this entire time. However, the flush draw does get there, so I don't want to bet too big and get folds out of hands like 2 pairs or sets or lower straights. So for those reasons, I bet a little bit less than half pot, $75, and he snap calls with Jack 9 offsuit. I flip over the Queen 10, and we are good, scooping in another pot our way, keeping the session running hot.
Next hand for me, we look down at 5-6 of diamonds on the cutoff. There are 2 limps. Middle position makes it $20. I make the call. Small blind makes the call. 2 limpers make the call. I believe that's 5 of us go into the flop, which comes Queen 10-6 rainbow with no diamond. We flop bottom pair, not much else. But it checks around. We get a free turn card, which is the 4 of hearts. It's the second heart. Still nothing great here, but it checks around again. The river is the 3 of hearts. The backdoor hearts get there, checks to the middle position, who is a very active gambly player who just plants $80 in the middle of the pot, like with authority, just slams it in there and immediately starts to stare me down. He knows who I am. He's trying to put on a show, and it seems like he's really trying to come across as strong here. Given the player type and that action, do you guys think I can make this call here? Is it good enough of the time? We only have $20 invested. This is a really big bet though, compared to the size of the pot, but he's just staring me down. Jello gets some great angles at this. Thank you, Jello, for the camera angles. But at the end of the day, I just don't think I have enough invested to where I want to make this call, but I think I could honestly be good. Let me know what you guys think. I fold. Everyone else folds. He wins. He tells me he had nothing. I obviously don't know if that's true or not, but interesting hand nonetheless.
This next hand is super interesting. We look down at Jack 9 of clubs in the cutoff. I decide to bet $10 when it's folded to me. The button 3-bets me now to $35, folds back around, and with a pretty suited and pretty connected hand, I decide to make the call for $25 more, go into a flop heads up, which comes 4 diamonds, 9 of spades, 7 of diamonds. I check, and the button bets $65. He bets very, very quickly, and with the flush draw out there, I'm sitting here with top pair. I decide to make the call, although he could be doing this with all over pairs as well. He definitely has plenty of bluffs in his range. So we're off to a turn, still heads up, and it comes the 4 of spades, bringing in the second flush draw now, and also pairing the board. This is a relatively good card for me. It doesn't really change much, and he's never really going to have a 4 here. I check, and he snap bets $125. Again, he could be doing this with all flush draws, any random high cards like ace queen or ace king, and all over pairs as well. So this is a tricky spot. However, I think he has plenty of bluffs still. So for those reasons, although I don't really like it, I make the call. The river is a very intriguing one. The jack of diamonds bringing in the flush draw. However, now we have top 2 pair. We still do not beat an overpair though. So if he has pocket queens, kings, or aces, we're still losing. This is kind of a weird card. I again go with the check, and he snap checks back to me and gives a frustrated sigh. So I flip over Jack 9, assuming it might be good, and he mucks. So we scoop in a massive pot near the end of our session. We're loving it.
Oh, boys and girls, you know those hands where you just play them and then you want to forget about them forever because you're horrible at poker and you did everything wrong? Well, when you have a vlog channel show like this one, you just get to watch it over and over and over again. So let's just do this. We look down at pocket jacks, under the gun +2. There is a under the gun straddle, and under the gun +1 makes it 16. This was a very tight player. Could get behind a 3-bet, but I do just make the call. The small blind calls as well, and John on the straddle calls. So that is 4 of us going to a flop. We are 0 for 3 this session, by the way, if you're keeping score. The flop is jack, deuce, rainbow, 1 diamond. We flop the stones, the stone cold nutter butters. How? Why is this? Why have we messed this up, Rosie? What's wrong? So we see a check from under the gun, +1. I think this board is too dry. Maybe you could get behind a bet because there is 4 people. It's likely someone has something, but I try to lay the trap here on this dry of a board, and it checks around. Turn, king, second diamond. Oh my goodness. Small blind leads out for a mere $15, an absolute tiny bet. Under the gun +1, folds to him, he makes the call. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I don't know what I was thinking. I honestly don't. I swear, I do not know what I was thinking. I and I don't raise. I think this is just criminal. I think I should be banned from poker. I apologize to all of you for having to watch this. I just make the call because setting the trap. No, I don't. That's so dumb. I apologize, guys. I really am sorry. That was not a good play. And the river is the third diamond on board. So the backdoor diamonds get there. Small blind keeps firing, this time to the tune of $50. Not a big bet. Folds to me. I think we have to raise here. I mean, we should have just raised the turn, but I just think that we have too strong of a hand. We can't be worried about one backdoor draw. But it would make sense for him to bet tiny on that turn because he's setting his price for a draw, right? We raise to 120. He rips it all in for a lot more than that. This is my own fault. I mean, I'm tilted in the moment. I'm tilted right now watching it, but I let it go. He shows ace-7 of diamonds for the backdoor flush. Nuts. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I'll be better next time, guys.
At least the Padres won.
Yeah, run good did not happen for at least Rosie and I. In for 600, out for $350, minus 250 for the day. Didn't play too many hands, but that's what happens. 5-hour session with Bill, 2 buttons, which has been brutal. That means every 2 hands there's a dealer's choice game. Sucks, but minus 250. We'll get him back next time.
We're not blaming this one on run good or run bad, boys. This one's on me. This one's on the mental stability of myself at the moment. In for 7, out for 155. You do the math. I don't want to do the math. Horrible play. No, we got. There's no like. No,
We'll talk about some things.
No blaming luck here. This is on me. I'll be better. I promise.
I'm sitting up about 150, 170 right now. Gonna keep sticking it out because I ran late and our table's pretty good. So I'm gonna keep grinding and we'll update you on my final stack. Hopefully it'll be even higher.
Rosie and I are gonna call it goodnight, but Jello, come on, take it home. Take it home, baby.
We got this.
Go.
Please. I need it.
Peace. Last hand of note to wrap up the session. An important thing to note for this hand is the big blind was the guy from the last Jack-9 hand where I called him down relatively light. He's steaming and definitely letting that influence his play, and that goes a lot into how I navigate this board. We look down at ace-jack offsuit on the small blind. Under the gun limps, it folds all the way around to me. I decide to bet $15. The big blind makes a call and the under the gun player folds, so we're off to a flop heads up against this guy again. Flop comes ace queen 2 with 2 clubs. I decide to get sneaky here and check, kind of lay a trap. I check and he snap checks back. The turn is the 8 of hearts. I think this is a great card to start betting on, so I decide to bet $20 and he snap calls. At this point, I'm pretty much putting him on weak pairs like a weaker queen or even a pair of 8s. I bet 20, he calls, and the river is the 6 of diamonds. This is a great card. Again, I don't really want to bet too big. I'm very confident that I have the best hand, and I want him to call with weak pairs, so I bet $50 and he snap calls again. I flip over ace-jack and we're good, taking some more money from this guy before we end up racking up. How much do I have?
700.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
All right, thank you very much.